Begin the program in the Israeli city of Haifa, where a military industry complex has been targeted by hundreds of rockets launched by Hezbollah. It comes after the Lebanese militant group fired dozens of missiles at a military base near Haifa on Saturday. Israel says that only 10 projectiles had crossed into the country from Lebanon and that most had been intercepted. The Israeli army has put on a show of force for its part as well, striking hundreds of Hezbollah targets across southern Lebanon. It's the latest in a wave of Israeli attacks this week that has killed dozens of people in Lebanon, including some Hezbollah commanders. Well, let's cross to Rawad Taha, our correspondent in Beirut. It's good to have you on the program, Rawad. So what have you been hearing about this latest attack from Hezbollah on an Israeli military industry complex?
Indeed, this looks like the most serious night since the start of the escalation almost 1 year ago. 11 or 12 months after the start of this war of attrition, this is starting to look very serious. So earlier in the morning hours and shortly after midnight, Hezbollah launched a series of rocket attacks deep into northern Israel, targeting a number of military bases. It is still not clear which areas were exactly targeted, but sirens went on from the border with Lebanon until reaching to the northern city of Haifa. What we know for a fact is that the rockets used are new rockets that are being used for the first time. The name of the rockets, according to Hezbollah's statement earlier today, is Fadi 1 and Fadi 2. And this is in retaliation to the pagers attack and the walkie-talkie attacks. This is as far as we know for now. The latest attacks on northern Israel is a retaliation from Hezbollah to the pagers attacks and the walkie-talkie attacks.
Rawad, you've really just laid out for us, the fact that this is the latest in these tit-for-tat attacks going on between the two sides. What's the mood like among people in Lebanon at the moment, seeing this uptick of attacks?
There is a great fear of an all-out war for the first time, perhaps over the past year. Now the Lebanese have been living on edge for the past year, with phases of escalation and de-escalation every other week or every few weeks, but nothing has been as intense as the past week when it comes to first the pagers attacks, the walkie-talkies attacks, the attack on Al Radwan elite unit of Hezbollah and its most senior military commander in Beirut's southern suburb, who they had a meeting under a residential building, leading to the death of more than 16 Hezbollah commanders and more than 40 civilians as well. So over the past week, we've seen at least three clear signs of escalations from the Israeli side. Earlier in the past few hours, we're seeing this retaliation from Hezbollah. On Saturday afternoon, we saw the highest number of airstrikes ever recorded in southern Lebanon, and attacks by Israeli jets, in particular targeting valleys and mountains where supposedly, according to Israeli statements, rocket launchers were stationed. So the past 24 hours have been definitely the worst.
Rawad Taha, correspondent in Beirut, thanks so much for that update. We really appreciate it.